should be there, right? 15 seconds. 14, 16, 18. We're going in hot. Here we go.
Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. The show where, just like you, we can't get enough sports.
The 47-year wait is over! And the Nuggets win it! Wilson throwing, it's up for grabs, and it's caught for the touchdown! And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50. To the Avalanche are 2022 Stanley Cup champions! And a shot into the back of the net for Diego Rubio!
Now here's your hosts, Arthur Knight and Larry Perkins.
1-0 Rapids. They are champions.
Yo. Welcome to the show. I am Arthur Knight. Welcome to the Sportz Phenz. And with me, as always, is Mr. Larry Perkins.
Hello, folks.
All right. We are coming to you live from Sohi Cafe here in Denver, Colorado at 4300 West Alameda, off the corner of West Alameda and Stewart. Come on by, tell Vinny the Sportz Phenz sent you, get you some homemade mac and cheese, get you some ribs. He's got some brisket going. I believe he said he's got everything on the menu today, so he's got some wings, he's got everything, burn ends. So we're going to get our grease on as soon as we're done with the show.
Yeah, he got pork and beans, though.
He ain't got no pork and beans?
No, I don't got no pork and beans.
Why you hating, dog?
I'm sorry.
He told you the pork and beans don't sell. The mac and cheese sells, so that's what the man sells.
I like pork and beans.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't like pork and beans?
It's bomb with some rib tips.
It does go bomb with rib tips. It goes bomb with any kind of barbecue, really.
Yeah,
but
I guess if it don't sell,
it don't sell, my guy. But hey, come on by and get what does sell. Get some wings, some brisket, get you some mac and cheese. Tell them the Sportz Phenz sent you. All right, man. So we got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into Bronny James. We're gonna talk Broncos. We're gonna talk a little bit of Nuggets. We'll even get into some Dodgers talk. The Raiders play the Chiefs this week.
I'm telling you, this is like the best weekend for me, man.
Yeah. Well, you better hope. I mean, if the
that'd be the icing.
That'd be a good weekend for LA fans. If LA, even though the Raiders are in Vegas now, you know,
mostly everybody
really
in LA is Raider fans, so you know.
I mean, I think that's pretty much true. That's why the Chargers are having so much trouble taking over that fan base.
Never. They need to go back to San Diego and take the Clippers with them. And take the Angels with them too.
Speaking of the Clippers, that arena, you know, not to go on a tangent. Yeah. Bruh, that arena is, man. I now have, so I have this bucket list. You know of this. I have this bucket list where I'm watching the Nuggets, you know, all over the country. Mark, and our good friend Lucas have caught quite a few games, you know, in various arenas all over the country. And LA is next on the list, but now I'm like, do I want to go to the Staples, or is it Staples anymore?
It's not Staples. The Staple. It's that Bitcoin thing. It's that.
They keep changing these names.
No, I still call it Staples. I still call it Staples.
It's still Staples, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I still want to go to both, kind of like we did with New York. Because a couple years back, or the year that the Nuggets won the championship,
Staples is nice, man, but it's
But I went to Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to go there,
bruh. It's an experience. Let me tell you, it is actually an experience. The Nuggets lost there. You know, we lost to the Knicks that day, but beat Brooklyn the next day in Barclays. So that was good. That was a good experience that Mark, I, and Lucas had with the other homie, Kel. She was there. Big shout out to her. She came and cheered on the Nuggets. We've also been to Phoenix, et cetera, et cetera. So, but LA now has another, you know, as opposed to going to LA and just going to one place for two teams. we can actually go to 2 different places, and one of which is brand new and looks dope as hell.
I seen it on TV. I wanna go so I could just
yeah, man.
They said the bathroom's even better. That's what Bomber said.
Well, here's the thing. There's a history at that arena that you guys at the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? Isn't that where your boy caught the virus from? Isn't that what yeah, so there's a history about the bathrooms at the Staples Center or whatever it's called, Bitcoin.
And this one, they have no like easy exits. So like, you know, the Chris Paul situation with the
right.
They just right. He's like, this is how you get in there. Blake thought he was getting away. He's like, hey, what they doing in our locker room? We got the back route. That was funny.
That was pretty funny.
When the Rockets played the Clippers, that was so funny. But no, it's no funny. It's no back routes in this.
Nah. Brand new stadium, looks cool. But let's keep it rolling on the NBA talk really quick. We do got to get to the NFL scores and all of that, and we will give you guys all of that. But let's keep it rolling with the NBA right now.
There's a lot of blowouts today, though.
Man, there's a lot of the NBA right now is crazy. The bottom is at the top, and the top is at the bottom, with the exception of OKC and Boston. I think everybody pretty much knew that those 2 teams were going to come out pretty hot. I did not think the Nuggets would come out as flat as they have. But I'm wearing my Nuggets gear today just to show, I've been a fan for, worse Nuggets teams than how this team is playing. And I do see glimmers and glimpses of how this team, they do it in spurts, it seems like, and they just don't have any continuity yet. They have come out flat, and I know they know it. Their defense needs to step up a lot better. Like I said, they do it in spurts. At times, it looks like this Nuggets team could shut you down and not allow you to score at all. And then their offense, though, right now is just not good. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from a lot of people, but MPJ, we got to trade that dude away. The Nuggets need to trade that dude. He could be a great player, but this guy doesn't have it between the ears.
You heard about the rumors that was going on with Chicago and Denver.
I would not be mad at that if we get Zach LaVine. Yeah. If the Nuggets can make a trade and get a premium player for MPJ, that's the thing. I don't think that the Nuggets have enough trade capital.
It's going to be salary per salary, but the thing is, he has less years to work with Zach LaVine,
right?
Compared to Porter.
Yeah,
Jr.
But that situation could be like an AG type situation. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah,
it could be a really, really good fit. Having him at the 3, because he can still score, he can still shoot. He doesn't shoot as well at a high as percentage as MPJ does. But MPJ the other night, in their loss, their second loss at home, was literally passing off wide open shots because he was like 0 for 7 or 0 for 8 from 3. It's like, attack the rim, man. Get some rebounds. Help your team in another way. You can't just disappear on your team like that, and he seems to do that regularly. And I like MPJ. That's the problem. Is it's hard for me to want to trade him away because of the potential. The fact of the matter is that this kid could be one of the greatest shooters of all time if he would get out of his own way, get out of his own head. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't seem to want to adapt to the role that he has on this team.
He's stubborn.
He's stubborn AF, man, and he wants a bigger role. He wants to be the star. It's like, bruh, you have to play that way, though. That's the way the NBA works. Is you gonna have to play that way. You gonna have to bully ball your way in. And this dude doesn't attack the rim. He doesn't do anything besides stand out on the 3-point line or run up and mess up the spacing. Because he's trying to run up and do the 2-man game with Joker when Joker's trying to do the 2-man game with either Westbrook or Murray.
I'm just curious to see how you guys' defense is going to be, because without KCP and then prior y'all lose Bruce Brown or whatever. I just want to.
Here's the thing. And I'm glad you brought that up, because here's the thing. That's another thing towards MPJ is that KCP covered a lot of his defensive inefficiencies, right?
I know.
Because they could just put MPJ out on somebody who's not a top scorer, and then you have AG, KCP, and Murray plays good enough defense along with Jokic. They're handsy, they get steals, etc. But that's the thing is MPJ seems so lost in the defense again. It's almost like it's his rookie year again.
But you got to understand one thing too. Those cats that we mentioned, they covered their fellow teammates in
they do, but right now they
don't
can't.
have a cover. They don't have a cover guy. And that's why
Brown has been playing really well, surprisingly really well in the starting lineup. I'm very surprisingly happy, or I'm very happy with his play. He's getting double-digit points. He's still D'ing up the best players on the other side. They had to switch him out, and he was basically shutting down Harden. Harden was kind of getting a little, kind of pushing off and doing all the Harden things that he does, but he pretty much slowed him down and shut him down, especially in the second half, so much so that the Clippers had to go to a whole nother guy to start scoring, who also just blew up, pretty much just scored at will, which drove me nuts.
That's all they got, and I guarantee
if their defense tightens up, my guy, hopefully and it's not even – their defense has actually been really good. It's not like both teams blew them out. I mean, the score was lopsided, but they didn't really blow them out in the sense that they didn't allow 120, 130 points.
But the thing is, they look different. I don't know what. It's just something about them.
Nah, they don't really. They look about the same as last year, and that's the problem. Here's my overall analysis of the Denver Nuggets right now. Is they have a lot of players that are young that won a championship 2 years ago. With the exception of Brown, it looks like the Denver Nuggets have gotten fat and happy, and they don't remember what it's like to be hungry for that championship. They're content with the one championship.
Speaking of hungry, man, Boston got a chip on their shoulder. I think Jaylen Brown has.
Boston has the mindset that the Nuggets should have had last year.
Yeah.
They still have that hunger. They're still chasing a championship.
They blowing people out. It's like what they. Yeah.
The Nuggets got fat and happy, man, and now they're, even coach has called them out like they're out of shape, and they are out of shape, and they honestly do look it right now. They look completely out of shape. They do not look invested. The bench is still scary when Jokic and Murray are not on the floor. Murray in the first game didn't look very good. In the second game, he played a lot better. But this team does. They look out of shape. They look like they're going to.
It's just 1 week, though, but.
It's just 2 games. It's 2 games, but they do have. The Nuggets usually don't have the benefit of the schedule. This would be the first year that I've seen when I've looked ahead in the schedule that the Nuggets had any kind of love from the people. Like, they had 2 home games to start and lost both of them. Now it's about to go into this crazy schedule to where they're home, away, home, away, home, home, away, 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 home, home, home. You know what I'm saying? To where it's just like lopsided.
But I know.
And they could have started off 2-0 with 2 wins. I still think that they can beat Oklahoma City. I still think that they can beat the Clippers, especially the Clippers. I just think they fall apart defensively. Offensively, they just haven't been very good. Even Jokic said they haven't shot very well, and they're not a good shooting team except for Jamal and who did he say? Jamal and.
I wouldn't even know.
Did
I know
he say
Jamal.
MPJ? He might have said MPJ, but
I mean, if that's the case, you guys need another shooter.
Well, that's why I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to giving up. I mean, this man in 2 games hasn't even scored too many points. Sorry, I'm distracted here. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm distracted by this Baltimore Cleveland game. I'm like, oh.
Well, what scared me the most,
It was a crazy comeback.
It is. It's a crazy comeback. The Browns are about to beat Baltimore if Jackson can't make a touchdown here with 3 seconds left. But anyway, I don't want to get squirrel.
I know you're talking about me. You got me. What goes around?
I get distracted, man. I get distracted. I'm a sports fiend, dude. I can watch all kinds of sports.
I heard that.
So anyway, but back to basketball.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about your team, though.
Yeah,
let's talk about the Lakers.
Exactly.
The Lakers actually came out pretty hot. I mean, they're 2-0.
3-0.
3-0. Excuse me. 3-0.
Check that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're 3-0. They came out hotter than most thought they would.
Well,
and they kind of need to.
Well, the thing is, when I seen the schedule, when the schedule first was, brought out, I was like, because all their top the 20 games they play, the first 20 games, at least about 15 to 16 are contenders. Well, they're not contenders, but they was great last year. Like Minnesota, Phoenix, and what was the other team we just beat? We beat Minnesota, we beat Phoenix, and we beat Sacramento. And then we got Phoenix again. We got the Nuggets coming up. We got all these top. I was like, and to be 3-0 is awesome. But one thing I can take away from the Lakers is the difference in their philosophy. Because back last year, when something went wrong, the coach was like, whatever. Darvin Ham, like what? This year, if they're not shooting the ball, they're gang rebounding. They're hitting. They're rebounding in them corners. If they're not rebounding in the corners, they're doing something.
Their offense looks pretty crisp. I mean, AD looks like he's
a focal point now. That's one thing that Darvin Ham would not do. You know what I'm saying? Make AD the focal point of your offense.
Nah, that's not true. I think Darvin Ham was trying to make him the focal point. He seemed to be shying away from it. Plus, he was injured all the time, but now he seems like he's playing healthy. See, he's playing very well right now.
There's still 80.
There's still 80 games left, or 79 for y'all, but there's still basically 80 games left, give or take, in the season.
But it's a big. You can see
China Doll. Let's see how well he plays. He's playing very well right now. Let's see how if he's playing this way though. In January, February, then the Lakers will probably be in a good position. Like if he continues this play all the way through. I think J.J. Redick does have this team playing a little bit better than Darvin Ham had them playing. They're a lot more prepared. Apparently, LeBron got his coach that he wanted, and J.J. Redick is the people's champ of a coach. But speaking of LeBron, it looks like your prediction is going to come true. Like they're actually going to send Bronny down after this road trip. I think it was maybe just a publicity stunt to have, father and son play. I think the whole world knew that Bronny was not ready for this level, like at all. His dad even force-fed him a 3-point shot the other day, or was it yesterday? And he airballed it. He's just not ready, and I'm not trying to diss the kid. I think the kid could be a good.
No, he's gonna when they come back from this 5-game road trip. He's gonna go. He's gonna report to South Bay, and just grind. I mean, you got your father is one of the greatest basketball players that ever played. So he come home, you know him. You know how he works out his regiment and everything. Only thing you have to do now It's just grind. Put your head down and just grind. He'll be all right.
Well, see, the thing about it is he can't really do his dad's regiment because he doesn't have the same body type as his dad.
Well, not the same regiment, but see how he approaches.
He can't.
How he approach.
The approach to to his regiments is
right.
what
not actually.
Yeah, he can't do his regiments.
Like
though.
Supplements. No, not that, but just for.
No,
I
really can't. But you're right. You're right. He needs the mindset
that's
of his dad, the mindset of Mamba, the mindset of Jordan, the mindset of all of these players before Magic that had the killer instinct of he's just not there skill wise yet. I don't know how.
Well, the thing is, he never had to fight for anything, because he's, LeBron's son,
Right.
So it's going to be a little, but he has to channel that inner dog. I know he got it. He got to channel that inner dog and just grind, just go for it. Just start out playing everybody. Just let them know.
He seems like he has the raw skill set. He has the raw ability. But the bottom line is that he needs to. He's not into his NBA body yet, and he's not a natural, just an overall natural talent because he's not 6'8", 6'9". What's LeBron? 6'7", 6'8"?
Yeah,
something like that.
Bronny is 6'2".
Yeah, it's 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in that.
And he's not really a great ball handler, so to speak. He's more like a smaller tweener. He's
going to need to be a shooting and off-ball shooting guard, at least until he can develop those on-ball skills and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He's for sure not a point guard, like you said. That he can't dribble to save his life right now. And I'm not trying to knock the kid, and I'm not mad that LeBron. By way of nepotism, got his son drafted. But I'd be pissed if Jordan did that. I wouldn't. I don't believe that you should give. I don't believe. Corporations do it. And I've never believed in that then. I don't believe in it now. I'm not going to change my mindset just because it was a black man or whatever some of these people are trying to say. The bottom line is that it's not right. He basically took a roster spot or a draft spot from a better player. And now he's able to negotiate a better contract going forward because of where he was drafted. Yes, they only drafted him in the second round, right? Wasn't he a second round?
55.
Yeah, they drafted him in the second round, but it just changes things, and it put to me it put Bronny in a bad position because now he does have to live up to the name on the back of his jersey. You were drafted
by your dad's team.
How many second round draft picks have to go to the G League? Usually those second rounders.
Usually G League people is players that get undrafted that didn't make the top 60.
There's some players that still get drafted.
And go to
but no, I guess not. No, now that I think about it, I can't think of one, because even Jokic was a second round picked during a Taco Bell commercial, and yet he didn't have to get sent down to the G League as far as I can recollect. He came off the bench.
Yeah, usually I don't see it that often. Usually guys that go to the G League, I'm just talking because I follow the league, my team,
Right.
But mostly people that's undrafted. If you didn't make the draft, you go to
you get your two-way contract,
right.
Or you get your contract with, because that's essentially they're putting him on a two-way contract as a second round draft pick. Typically, when you're on a two-way contract, like you said, you're an undrafted player, or for lack of a better term, like a walk-on player.
Right.
You're absolutely right. And
usually
that's where they should have signed him in the first place.
Undrafted.
So that's undrafted. He should have been an undrafted free agent on a two-way contract. And the Lakers still could have done that, but because LeBron negotiated his son's contract, which I don't even know how that's legal, to be honest, because he's not.
That's hearsay.
I don't even know how that's legal. That might need to be investigated. But I'm just saying,
no proof. It's just hearsay.
Well, and that's fine. Not because
it is what it is. But yeah,
it is what it is.
But
it's done now. It's done now. But the Lakers. I find it funny. We were talking about it before the end of the show, and just to kind of wrap this conversation, I find it hilarious that now the GM, after all is said and done, right? He comes out and says when they're moving Bronny down to the G League, he's like, oh, well, this was the plan the whole time. Like, if that was the plan the whole time, why would you draft him in the high second round? Why?
Well, actually, it was the lower second round.
Okay, whatever. Why would you draft him, period? If the plan was to send him to, why would you waste that draft pick? You don't have to make that make sense to me.
That's what I was saying,
You could have gotten another player that could have been a strong bench player for you at that position in the draft and still gotten Bronny and signed him to a two-way with, South Bay and the Lakers. And, but LeBron wasn't going to allow his son to get underpaid, I guess, or what?
Undrafted.
Yeah.
At least my son got drafted, even though it was in the second round. But
you said that you would have done that. You'd do that for your son. Would you really? You would hand your son a job even if he wasn't qualified for it?
No, it depends.
Because you're kind of setting him up to fail.
I said yes prior, because if he was interested, like what I did, if my son's interested in the same thing, he tried to go, I would. But if he's like, I'm not really feeling it, I wouldn't push him,
Yeah, but my point. What I'm saying is your son, your son is not qualified to do so. Even though you believe it in your heart, let's be realistic.
I would.
You would still do it. You would still put him in a position to fail.
If he wanted to do something that I was doing, and he was working at it and stuff, I'd give him a hand.
He doesn't seem like he's working at it though.
Well. I'm just saying he raw, man. You know what I'm saying?
Are you a Bronny supporter now? Is that what I'm hearing a different tone? Because you were when I told you that he was being sent down the other day, you were like all gung ho about it.
I knew it was.
Right.
You're right. But the thing is, I want to, I don't want to see nobody fail. I want Bronny, I don't know if it's going to be with the Lakers or another team, but the thing is, I want him to succeed,
Yeah.
Speaking of succeed, before we move on, and I just want to say, wow, the Lakers did great by drafting Don Connect with the 17th pick overall in the draft.
Yeah, he seemed to be playing well.
I mean, and JJ Redick is using him great.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. It's a long season.
Oh, it's definitely,
It's a long season.
It's a long season.
And speaking of long seasons, the Broncos game just started, and it's been kind of a long season up and down with them, even though they've got a winning record and they're in a good position. Oh, no, it looks like McLaughlin just not McLaughlin. Somebody might have just fumbled.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Oh, yeah, that ball is definitely out.
Yeah.
And went right into the Carolina Panthers' hands. Okay. So, but speaking of the Broncos, first and foremost, I want to get this story out of the way. Denver Bronco Josh Reynolds was shot the other day here in Denver while attending a strip club. I mean, don't take that the wrong way. He's a grown man. He can go to a strip club if he wants to. Just because you go to a strip club doesn't mean you also deserve to be shot. But, our condolences go out to the Reynolds family. It sounds like his injuries aren't even going to keep him out of
minor
playing for the rest of the season.
He's off the IR. What is he off the IR?
He's not going to play this game, so he's not playing this game.
Because he was out for a messed up thumb.
Yeah, or finger.
Yeah, some on his hand.
Yeah. He had a broken finger, not a broken finger, a dislocated finger, or something to that effect.
So he didn't make the trip to New Orleans.
He didn't have a.
He was throwing them dollars.
His finger was not correct. One of his fingers was not correct.
He got 9 more.
But yeah. Anyways, why are you trying to make jokes? This man was shot.
I'm not making jokes, but I'm just saying where he was.
You are making jokes.
I'm not.
All right. Our condolences sincerely go out to Josh Reynolds.
But what we was talking
and his
about
family
about far security.
he doesn't need security, man. He should be allowed to go anywhere anybody else is allowed to go without being shot. Without being shot, period, man. Like,
you know how the
now I wouldn't go to the strip club, and we're not going to mention the name. I wouldn't go personally, and I'm not even a famous person. I wouldn't go to that strip club, period. If I had the money he has, I would have went to a more upscale club, personally, and I'm not one to frequent or even go to. But, you know, I'm also not going to judge, and I'm not going to say that this man should have had security. The club should have provided security. It's there, to me, it's them not, you know, and I'm not sure, you know, I've read the article, but they haven't released too much of what happened. This might have happened in the parking lot, now that I think about it. So after they left the strip club.
Right. Because that's what they were saying. That as soon as they pulled off, the two cars pulled off behind him. And I guess it was the two gentlemen in a club that was, I guess, watching him during the whole 2 hours he was there. You know?
Right.
And then they start firing. I guess firing like when they was driving away, they was firing at the vehicle.
So I don't think him having security would have helped in that instance anyway. Like, how would have his security?
It would have deterred the cowards, you know.
I'm not sure that's correct, man.
If I have two armed dudes with me, of course, it's gonna be a pistol parade.
Yeah, I just know that, you know, there's a lot of people. I mean, maybe you're right, but Josh Reynolds isn't like he's not like he's a rookie, right, or a second year wide receiver.
Isn't he a practice squad?
No. He actually starts or was starting. He was getting a lot of playing time, but I mean, the bottom line is that he is not, you know, Jefferson. You know what I mean? So
of course not.
He's not making that kind of money.
Yeah.
So I don't know how or why he would need security, and I would like to know what was going on in the club to why these two gentlemen would decide to follow him out of the club. Like, what altercation happened in the club?
That's going to be
interesting.
That's going to be investigated.
Well,
I think they was just trying to jack him, you know.
That may be. He was in there flashing a little bit of dough.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's not so well known, like you think he's well known. Josh Reynolds is known in here in Denver, but he may not be as well known, and they may not have cared that he was a Denver Bronco.
Somebody probably is like, yeah, that's one of those athletes.
Yep.
I know all about that.
He's got all kinds of cash on him. You're probably right.
Yeah, they wouldn't even probably don't even know if he probably was a Raider or not.
He was making it rain just a little too much in the club. And that's the club he went to is not the one that you want to be flashing cash in. That neighborhood is not very, you know, pleasant here in Denver. I'm not trying to knock the neighborhood, but it's, you know, I'm also not surprised this happened in that area. Like,
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't even know why they would advise he go that one. Anyway.
Yeah, like I would slap the crap out of the friend that told me, "Hey, this is a good club to go to here in Denver."
That's who I wanted to put him. What was you thinking? With his friend, what was he thinking?
Yeah, what was you thinking, man?
Bringing me here,
taking your friend to
supposed to be my friend.
Bullet wounds and stretch marks.
Exactly.
That's like, come on, man.
That's nasty.
Why would you?
That's nasty.
I'm sorry, America. That was totally wrong. I already said it though, so it is what it is. But yeah, no, it's a terrible club, man. It's not a good club, bro. It's really not. It's not safe. It's not a safe neighborhood. And I would not be flashing cash in that neighborhood or driving a nice car like parked at that particular club. I grew up here though, so I know. You know, I know better than to. Even if I was famous and stuff, that I wouldn't be going to that club. I promise you. There are so many better clubs here in Denver.
I know. I'm pretty sure you
but yeah, you know. Oh man, I can't believe I said that. But moving on, back to NFL, but our condolences sincerely do go out to the Reynolds family. It seems like he will be okay, but hopefully there isn't any complications or anything going forward. We did have quite a few games this morning that have completed. Houston barely ekes out a win over Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a lot better than everybody gives them credit for. Green Bay barely beats Jacksonville, which is kind of weird. You would have thought that Green Bay would have stomped Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's got heart, right? They're professionals too. They get paid. Arizona, is that final? Yep, is edged out Miami 28-27. It looks like Miami has some life. I heard not Nakua, he plays for the.
You talking about the quarterback?
Yes, Tua.
Yeah.
Tua, did he come back today? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Hold on, let me double check that.
I haven't.
Let me double check to see if my guy played today.
I doubt it because it's too soon.
No, they were talking about. I know they were talking about him coming off.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
Nah, he played today, my guy. He was 28. He was 28 for 38, 234 yards, 1 touchdown. They sorely needed that. I mean, they still lost by 1 point, and he's probably a bit rusty after being out for so long.
I think it has been 2 weeks.
It's been a couple weeks.
Okay,
He finally cleared protocol. Oh man, it looks like Carolina has struck first off of that fumble from the Denver Broncos. We also had the Lions mollywop just basically put the Tennessee Titans over their knee and spanked their bottoms red. 52-14. That looks like a college score, bruh. And this was tied at the half at 14-14. You know what I mean? Or it was tied in the second quarter or something like that, bruh. And then they scored. Detroit was like, "Oh, okay, how cute! You thought you could play with us here? Let's drop a 52
I knew they wasn't
burger on you."
Win, but I mean, they got annihilated.
Yeah, Tennessee didn't even try. And then, as we said not too long ago, Cleveland wins. They came back to beat Baltimore. Baltimore didn't play very well in that first half. They kind of didn't deserve. Yeah, they really didn't deserve to win
because they had a couple of key fumbles there.
They really did. They did. Cleveland capitalized on their bad play, and they kind of slept on Cleveland. Cleveland with Jameis Winston. What's his name? Jameis Winston.
Right.
Decided they were going to actually come in and play today.
But you're not going to be crisp all 17 games, though. That's what makes the great teams. You can win.
Yeah, but both of us only had Baltimore losing 3 games. They've already lost those 3 games, so.
I know.
So now they do have to win every game if our predictions are
Baltimore. Now you're on the clock. Shoot, man. Come on.
All right, and then we had the Los Angeles Rams beat Minnesota. That was Thursday night, right?
Yes.
And then let's see, Philly basically manhandles Cincinnati in the second half. Cincinnati looked pretty good in the first half, man, but then they couldn't score. They couldn't move the ball at all. Philly seemed to put the clamps on them and shut them down, man.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead, bro.
I know you're talking about Cincinnati and stuff because it's just, I'm an older guy. Sometimes my memory just escaped me.
An old guy? Okay, go ahead.
No, as far as because I was talking about the Washington the Commanders.
Okay.
Their record. They have the great record. And I was looking at their schedule. Their victories came with, they didn't beat a lot of. So my question is they good as their record indicate?
Well, that remains to be seen. They're playing the Bears right now, and they're up 3-0. So they can still move the ball. I think they're just well coached, man.
You think so?
I think they're well coached, and their team is playing within their limits, and they're playing at a high level and doing the things that they do good.
Yeah, because I watched them, and they're doing good, but it's like their competition.
Well, their quarterback has confidence. McDaniels has confidence.
That rookie is, yeah.
He does. He thinks he can throw the ball and fit that ball in anywhere. And most of the time, he does. So, I mean, it remains to be seen, man. They could be that Cinderella team that comes from nowhere. Right now, they are that Cinderella team that's coming from nowhere. They just have to maintain it. They just have to keep doing what they do best and until teams stop it, you know.
Okay.
Like until you stop it, we're gonna keep doing it. We're just gonna keep running and that's the thing too. They run the ball effectively.
I noticed that too, you know. So, you know, that was just a little, you know, I just had to ask that question.
Yeah, they run the ball effectively. They pass the ball efficiently.
You know, and Chicago is a good team, up and coming. But, you know, I want to see, you know, something like a Green Bay or Detroit, you know.
Speaking of Detroit, man, I told you at the beginning of the season, if you remember, Detroit is really good.
I picked Green Bay, did I? Yeah, I picked Green Bay.
Yeah,
coming out that.
Detroit's really good.
What I didn't expect was Minnesota.
Minnesota has been pretty good, but I think they've now been kind of exposed.
Good. Because I had them. I was down. You know, I had them finish like last in the division.
Well, I mean, for them to only be able to score 20 points on the Los Angeles Rams, the Los Angeles Rams defense is not that good.
I know. I don't know how we lost to them last week.
Yeah, their defense is not that good. But I mean, it is what it is. They went undefeated for 5 straight weeks, 6 weeks. Yeah. So they've kind of given themselves a little bit of cushion, if you think about it, like to have these 2 weeks. To go 5-6-0, you have a little bit of cushion to get things right. Because teams, as I keep saying, show after show, once teams have tape on you, you know what I'm saying? That changes the dynamics of how you do things, because teams, especially teams with great defensive coordinators, they're going to start taking away the things that you do best and make you do the things that you can't do or don't do at a high click. So, I think that's kind of where Minnesota's at right now. Okay. Teams have tape. They're starting to take away things, and they haven't made their adjustments.
Yeah, because we're in week 8 right now, so they got a couple of months of beautiful footage. So
yeah. So now it's to the point where they have that footage. Now you've got to, as a team, make an adjustment to what the league has made an adjustment on. You know what I mean?
But that's just the beauty about coaching, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can, scout the team that's scouting you and watch what they like to do.
Well, the good teams do. The good teams do.
Well, all of them should. But like you said, the really good ones, they say, well, we're going to scout this defense. We know what they're going to throw, what they've been the last, couple of months, Yeah. Instead of the defensive coordinators, is like, how are we going to stop these guys?
Well, the key is can you take away at least one of their weapons? Like, if you could take away Jefferson, now they have to rely on, another receiver, right? And they don't have they have a good wide receiver core. That's how they were able to win 5 straight games. But when you start zone scheming and taking pockets away from exactly where you want to throw the ball, you'll lose 30-20 like they did. You know what I mean? Like, so, we'll see, man. We'll see. It's a long season. That was a miraculous catch by Cortland Sutton right there. I love it. But we've got right now games going right now, as we just mentioned, Washington to Chicago. That's 3-0 right now. Denver is down 7-0 to Carolina, but they are marching down the field as we speak. Kansas City is up 7-0 on the Las Vegas Raiders, but the Raiders are in the red zone, threatening to score themselves. Then you've got Buffalo versus Seattle, 7-0, and New Orleans versus the Chargers, with a weird score of 2-0. So they got a safety, obviously, but that's a pretty weird score to be, and it's been that way for quite a while. So that means both offenses are having Not a good day. They're not having a good day.
That's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those 8-5 games.
Something 5-3. Los Angeles is gonna lose 5-3.
11-2.
I would be okay with them losing 11-2.
They'll come back.
You got jokes. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm really getting distracted now. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's caught up with all of that. All right. So let's talk a little baseball.
Yes.
I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to let Larry talk about his sorry-ass team.
Wow. Why you had to cuss at my team, bro?
Because
we win.
F your team, dog.
We in the World Series,
F
bro.
your team, dog.
Respect the series.
Respect these. Just talk about your team. Oh, yes. Thank you. We'll talk about the Dodgers, and then we will get to Ryan's reacts. Thank you for showing that, Vinny, because we are running low on time. All right.
Yeah.
So talk about your sorry-ass team really quick so we can get to Ryan's reacts.
Well, don't hate. All right, we up 2-0. I just want to give congratulations to my Dodgers. You know.
All right. You talked about your Dodgers. We're moving on now.
No, but then you have a question regarding Ohtani?
No, I don't have any questions.
Yeah, you cold-blooded. Ohtani, he's going to – man, you's a straight-up hater. He's a straight-up hater. My prediction, like I say, my prediction is 4-2. They're going to win 4-2 the series.
Oh, they're going to let them win too?
If the Yankees win 2, they win the series.
Oh,
if they end up winning 2 games,
we talking baseball now. You want to talk baseball?
They're going to win the series. No, we ain't talking baseball. All right, it's that time again this week for Mr. Ryan's reacts. Go ahead and roll it.
Sportz Phenz, and welcome back to Ryan's Reacts. We're back with an uncopyrighted soundtrack this week. Arthur, play me my sound effect. Bam! I love it. Let's get after it. So first off, in college football, so are the Buffs in contention for the Big 12?
That was good.
Yes and no. They are playing the best football of Prime's, tenure for sure. They look as good in the trenches, as good on defense, and they are committing to the run more than we have seen in these past 2 seasons. So all positives, all doing the right things. There's still a lot that has to happen for them to actually be in contention for the Big 12. Not the least of which is, Shedeur and Travis Hunter remaining healthy for the record. But obviously they need losses from Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and BYU at the minimum above them to have any chance. They don't have any ranked teams left on their schedule though, so it's not out of the question for them to run the table, and I can't believe I'm saying that. So good for them for the progress that they've shown, bowl eligible again, but just hard to see them winning the Big 12 without a ton of stuff going their way at this point. Army, Navy, unfortunately, as great as stories as they've both been this year, I don't think we should kid ourselves about either of these teams being top 25 teams. Neither of them are really all that effective at passing the ball. They're a little bit beyond just a full triple option offense, but not much. Obviously I think, contending teams are a lot different than the teams that either of them have played so far this year. Neither of them have a really all that impressive win. You look at what, NFL level talent on a Notre Dame defense was able to do, stacking the box a little bit more. I just can't see either of these teams making any noise in the playoffs, which is unfortunate given all the hype that we did have going into the Army-Navy game prior to this week. However much was disappointing, it wasn't surprising what happened in that game. Quick look ahead into next week. No place that anyone would rather be than Beaver Stadium in Pennsylvania at kickoff on Saturday. Penn State, Ohio State, awesome matchup, top 5. And that is just an amazing environment at that stadium, 100,000 plus, absolutely rocking. The question will be, can Penn State keep that crowd energy going in to even the second half of this game? The James Franklin era has not been all that strong with Michigan or Ohio State games, but Ohio State in particular, they are 1-9 against them. They have not beat them in 7 straight matchups, dating back to an upset they had back in 2016. So if they can keep the crowd in it, it's a very tough place to play. But I just don't like Penn State's chances given the history there. Moving on to the NBA, ominous start for the Nuggets in Week 1. Lack of depth looks like a major concern right now, which has been the case for the last few years, but even more so this year. I'm sure Arthur's going to tell you why he's not worried and they're going to be fine, but it's just something to keep an eye on. This goes on like this where there's no bench contributions for the next couple weeks.
Could be a problem.
I would start to view that as a major concern very quickly for the Nuggets.
Agreed.
Celtics, as expected, look like a potential juggernaut. I do think, continuity might be slightly underrated as a roster trait in the modern NBA, given the movement that happens. And look, I get it. How do you tell a locker room that came up short the previous season, there's no other additions made, teams around you are getting better all the time, and you're supposed to sit there and tell them, we have what it takes to get over the hump this time. But I do think it comes back to good coaching, and I think that, it's not just championship teams that will benefit from a little bit of continuity, especially with the key players on the team. Interesting story to watch with the Celtics this year. I think the Detroit game was a perfect example of the type of game that they would have lost in years past. Interesting to see if the quote-unquote championship resolve is real, if it does lead to them not beating themselves as often as they have done in previous seasons. So something to keep an eye on. Obviously, not putting too much stock in a win over the Pistons, but I've watched too many games of that exact nature in the last 2 years and not go the right way at the end to not at least acknowledge it. And then probably the only time I'll get to say this year, but shout out to Larry's Lakers for being number 1 in the Western Conference. Congrats, Larry. Enjoy it while it lasts, man. But we got to acknowledge it while it's happening for sure. Moving on to the NFL, Russell Wilson is absolutely teasing us. He's not going to keep this up. You're going to get some camera, some tape on this guy in the Pittsburgh offense over the next couple weeks. I'm happy for him. It was a great game. But if I had to guess, I would say Justin Fields might be back in the starting lineup by probably mid-December or so. And then I'm just tired of seeing the Giants and the Jets on freaking primetime, man. Get them off TV. I know New York is a big market, but they gotta win. They both suck. I don't want to see that. Since we're talking about New York, in the immortal words of Stephen A. Smith, I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't want to see New York. Get them off primetime, please. Quickly on the NHL, shout out to Justice Anonen. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but apparently he heard my call out last week about the Avs and has since decided to go ahead and save their season. He's allowed 4 goals in the past 3 games as part of what's now a 4-game win streak. First game was Georgie, but he gave up 3 goals on 19 shots against Anaheim, so I'm not putting too much stock in that. Shout out to Mr. Anonen. He might be the answer to the Avs issues, man, because they got the pieces around them to make noise, but they, you don't win Stanley Cups without solid goalkeeping, so very promising development there. Quickly on the UFC, I know I didn't talk about UFC last week. Really big fight card this past Saturday. If you can name me someone that wouldn't be a huge underdog going against either Ilya Topuria at 145 or Khamzat Chimaev at 185, I'm all ears. Please don't tell me Duplessis. He never actually beat Strickland in the first place. I think both of these gentlemen, I know Chimaev is not a champion yet, but either of these gentlemen can possibly be running those divisions for a long time. It's going to be very interesting to watch. In the MLB, again, I know I said I would never talk about this again this season, and by no means does it give me any pleasure to see the Dodgers win. But let's admit it, Game 1 was freaking sick. Shout out to Kirk Gibson. I thought that's what I was watching with Freddie Freeman there. I am actively soaking up and bottling all Yankee tears. I'm trying not to think about how this severely injured version of this Dodgers roster is walking down a ring right now. And they're most likely going to be much better in the years to come. Very scary for the rest of baseball. Little gross considering the money they've spent. But, obviously they've come up short for many years here. And to reiterate, what's most important, I'm soaking up and bottling Yankee tears, baby. Injecting them into my veins. Let's freaking go. This is Ryan's Reacts. Have a good Sunday, Sportz Phenz.
My guy, that was good. That was good. We got to reel him in, though. 7 minutes. 7 minutes, man. Come on, man. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, that was all good.
Yeah.
That was all quality. If it wasn't quality 7 minutes, my guy, I'd be upset with you. But that was all quality, man. Even shouts out to the Avs after calling them out last week. Maybe Coach Bednar did hear the call out, and he was like, you know what? We've got to make sure that Ryan doesn't call us out again, because they have won 3 straight in a row, like they really did. 3 or 4, maybe even 4 in a row. And yeah, big shout out. He gave shout outs to both your squads, you know, the Lakers being number 1 in the
he's not a hater though.
In the West.
He don't
I gave
hate.
him a shout out. I said they're better than we thought they would be.
About it right now.
No, there's no reason to talk about it.
It is.
It's a flash in the pan. It's
no,
fool's
you gotta
gold.
understand. The
It's
game
fool's
1,
gold.
even he admitted game 1 was epic. Game 1 was one for the history books.
Oh no! I
That
mean,
never
we
been
can finish.
done
We can
before.
finish out the show talking about your sorry ass team.
That never been done before. That
Interesting.
a walk off grand slam.
No, that was pretty dope.
That was never
pretty
done.
dope. That was pretty dope. Even if it was the most hated team that I despise ever. Actually, they're not even the worst team. I hate the
thought you
Raiders
didn't-
way more.
No,
And the Lakers.
Oh, as far as okay.
Yeah,
Sports,
yeah.
I thought you mean baseball, because I knew you guys hated the Giants, San Francisco Giants.
No, I don't like them neither. I don't like them neither.
That's a grand slam home run.
That's right.
Because I've told you, I don't know how many times, man. It's my team. I love my team's F yo team. I don't care what other team it is. I have respect. I have respect for certain teams. You know, like I respected the 90s Bulls. I respected the 80s Lakers, you know, and the 70s to 80s Celtics. You know, I got mad respect for them, but F yo team, dog. I don't, you know, it's my team, F yo team. That's truly how I feel.
Okay.
All right. With the 4 minutes left, you want to do see if I can stump you?
Sure, try to stump
Since you
me.
was crying about it.
Yes, you can't stump me. But
This
go
man
ahead.
was crying about it like
This guy.
everybody's telling me that we need to do it, that you're scared. Like, what am I scared of, doc?
Shit, everything.
You don't get no cash money for this. All right.
You don't know? Shit.
All right. Here we go. Do you got the Jeopardy music queued up? All right, my guy. Hit us with it. All right. I think that's just going on the house speakers, my guy. I don't hear it. There you go. All right.
Man, I could
Give me a little less volume on that. That's really loud in my ear. All right, my guy. So this guy is a point guard.
We have a party here tonight, so this is set up for that, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
This guy is a point guard and played in the 80s. 80s and early 90s. Who am I?
The 80s and early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That's John Stockton.
Not John Stockton, but good guess. Good guess.
All right.
All right, let's see. What do I got here? Somebody changed their damn website and
Yeah, right.
all right. So, point guard, played in the 80s, 90s, came out of Wake Forest, drafted by the Washington Bullets. Who am I?
Ross Strickland?
Nope.
Oh.
All right.
Boys.
Last.
Oh.
Let's see.
Oh, no.
All right. So one of his nicknames is the Human Press or the Human Assist. Who am I? Wake Forest, point guard, the Human Assist, drafted by the Washington Bullets. Who am I?
Dang,
I stumped Larry.
Got me.
I stumped. Look, give me a guess though.
Muggsy Bogues? I don't know.
Are you for real? That is Muggsy Bogues. He just threw it out there. Nah, he looked, ladies and gentlemen. He looked. He be cheating. That's why I don't like this game. No, I'm just kidding.
You love it.
All right. Let's see how much time we got. All right, we got 1 minute. This is lightning round. This is a Hall of Fame power forward. Also played small forward. An 11-time All-Star. Who am I?
He plays small forward too. Mm-hmm. Dominique Wilkins.
Good guess, but no. College went to Auburn.
Charles Barkley?
Yep, Charles Barkley. All right, that's going to do it for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. I could not stump Larry. I hope he feels good about himself now. He won't cry in the car on the way home. All right, on behalf of our staff, well, us two and Vinny,
That's
Sportz Phenz, we thank you guys for watching and subscribing. Don't forget to like and subscribe us on YouTube. Don't forget to look for Sohi Cafe, Viper Pit Barbecue on all of your social media outlets. Follow us at Sportz Phenz. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.